Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Something is deeply wrong in Irish Town. What was once a quiet farm in County Mayo has become the center of a dark and disturbing mystery. Michael Gaine vanished in March 2025, and at first, it was just a missing persons case. But people knew something was off. Michael didn't just disappear. Something happened to him. By April 29th, the Gardaí finally confirmed what many feared. This was no longer a search for a missing man. It was now a murder investigation. That announcement changed everything. It meant the Gardaí had new authority to search Michael's property as a crime scene. But the delay, nearly 6 weeks, raised questions. Why did it take so long? Did they wait too long to act? When they finally began the full search of Michael's property, it was more than just a few officers walking around. Forensic teams arrived. Crime scene specialists, pathologists, and digital analysts came in. They searched the house, they combed the shed, they walked through the bogland and septic tank. The land itself had become a witness. Then came a horrifying discovery. Partial human remains were found inside the slurry tank on the property. That moment was a turning point. This was no longer just theory. Someone had tried to hide a body. But even then, rumors started to spread. People in the area began saying that bleach had been used in certain parts of the property. Disinfectant, strong enough to destroy DNA, had been poured where it shouldn't be. It sounded like someone was trying to clean up something dark, something violent. This raised another question. Were the Garda too late? Was critical evidence already lost before the forensic teams arrived? A proper crime scene investigation is supposed to follow strict steps. The area should be sealed off immediately. Every inch should be photographed and documented before anything is touched. Luminol should be used to detect hidden blood. Cadaver dogs should search for the smell of decomposition. Soil samples, clothing fibers, and digital records should be collected and preserved. But this case didn't follow that pattern at first. The property wasn't locked down fast enough. People had access to the area, and with each passing day, the chance of catching the killer slipped further away. Then something unusual happened. The Garda took the investigation overseas. They flew to Maine in the United States to speak with Michael Kelley's ex-partner. Kelley was the last person seen with Michael Gaine. He had been arrested earlier in the investigation, but later released without being charged. In late June, they traveled to Maine to interview his ex, Alicia Snow. She told reporters that Kelley was strong, funny, and smart, but she also said the Gardaí were digging into his past, asking questions about his behavior, his relationships, and possibly about his capacity for violence. It was a bold move. Irish detectives don't usually fly overseas unless they believe it's absolutely necessary. The Garda wanted to know more about who Kelley really was. Did he have a pattern? Did his ex know anything that could connect him to Michael's death? Meanwhile, back in Ireland, frustration began to grow. The investigation had now stretched past 100 days. As of July 11th, 2025, no one has been charged with Michael Gaine's murder. Yet the property has been searched. The slurry tank has been drained. A sword-like weapon, not a chainsaw, has been identified as the likely murder weapon. This new information shocked the public. In the early days, the Garda had seized chainsaws, thinking they might be involved. But now, reports suggest they believe the killer used something more personal, more brutal. A sword or blade that caused devastating injuries. That shift changes the story. It paints the killer as someone who didn't act in panic, but someone who wanted to inflict deep damage. Another strange detail came to light. Kelley filed a complaint against the Garda before he was ever arrested. He told the Garda ombudsman that he felt mistreated during the early interviews. This move, filing a formal complaint, suggests he may have been preparing to defend himself long before anyone knew just how serious the investigation would become. Still, despite the efforts, the search continues. The Gardaí are believed to be reviewing forensic evidence, reanalyzing the samples taken from the property, and retracing their steps. Digital devices, phones, GPS trackers, and emails are likely being re-examined. They're also talking to witnesses, neighbors, and anyone who may have been near the property around the time Michael vanished. Even now, the biggest problem remains. There is still no full body. That's a major issue in a murder case. Without a complete set of remains, It's harder to prove cause of death or even confirm how long Michael may have been dead before the discovery. But forensic science is evolving, and small fragments of evidence, bone, tooth enamel, traces of blood, can now reveal more than ever before. Across Ireland, Michael's case has become a painful symbol. There are over 940 people currently listed as missing in the country. And yet, many of those cases get little media coverage, little justice, and little attention. Michael Gaine's case is forcing people to ask uncomfortable questions. Why did it take so long for Gardaí to act? Was evidence overlooked? Was someone protected? As of July 11, 2025, the Gardaí have not announced any charges. They have not shared the results of DNA testing on the remains. They have not said whether the blade found is definitely the murder weapon. The public is being kept in the dark. But one thing is certain. Someone out there knows exactly what happened on that property. Someone knows what was done to Michael Gaine. And someone might be getting away with it. The truth may still be buried somewhere, on that land, in that house, or deep in the mind of a killer. But the search isn't over. Not yet. So we wait. We watch. We keep asking questions, because silence protects no one. And in the case of Michael Gaine, silence may be hiding a murderer. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned to Why I Killed You TV, because some stories refuse to stay buried.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.